what would you say is the one thing that has gotten you the most results with what I've taught you? Okay, like what would you say? Would it say meditation? Is it a C-type goal, so thinking bigger? Is it, terror barriers? Like what's the one principle that you've learned that you've applied that's probably gotten you the most results that other people are not doing?
I think
What's your special sauce?
for
Yeah.
me personally, it's right.
Yes, sir. What's going on, family? It's your man, Mr. Law of Attraction, back for another video. You already know what it is, guys. We have Ibrahim here. He right now is in Medellin, Colombia. He's in the fitness coaching space. He was at 6,000 a month, and we got him to 6,000 a week. So in this video, we're going to be diving into Ibrahim, his story. What has he learned? He was actually one of my clients before Mr. Law of Attraction took off, one of my one-on-one clients. So in this interview that we're having with Ibrahim, we're just going to keep it raw. We're going to understand like what were his challenges, what did he overcome, what took him from 6,000 a month being stuck to 6 grand in a week. What are some of the things that he learned and still applies to this day? And so let's hop into it. Ibrahim, what's up, bro? How you doing, man?
It's good, parcero.
Said, it's funny about Ibrahim. He was in Miami before, and I was telling him about Miami, and I was like, bro, you gotta go to Medellin, Colombia. He landed in Medellin, and that's been a game changer. How you like in Medellin, bro?
Absolutely loving it. I think it's one of the best places I've been on this planet. It's amazing. So, of the people like
Uh,
watching, never been to Medellin, like that's the place to be. I guarantee.
I love it, bro. I'm gonna have property out there. My girlfriend's from there, man. It's one of my favorite spots. And next spot for Ibrahim is coming out here to Dubai. So we're gonna scale you, bro. Let's scale you to 50,000 a month. We'll get you here to Dubai, and we'll make it happen. So Ibrahim, tell the people that are watching right now, like just let's just be honest, just be open, just be genuine. People can feel genuine. Like tell them who is Ibrahim, where are you from, how did you get started, what do you do, what like before we get into that 6,000 to 6,000 a month, like why should people even kind of like where are you coming from, man?
So, I'm coming first of all, like from a corporate background. I used to be an engineer, and at some point, I just feel like I need something different into my life. So, corporate was just a lot of comfort, like that lifestyle, but something was very missing. So, took the risk, and I moved into being like an entrepreneur because I love fitness. It completely changed my life. I was a fat kid before, and now I'm in the best shape of my life. So fitness means a lot for me, and I'm like, okay, I can teach that to people. I'm great at it. I love it, and I can make money out of it. So I left my job and I start this business. I have very big dreams when I first start. Obviously, like the life of traveling, making money online, and not having a boss. So that was my ambition at first, but things were not happening as expected from the beginning. So I start making content, start reaching out to
About what
people.
about fitness, right? Fitness coaching, right? Maybe
Yes, about the online industry, right? Uh, so I start having like some sales, some client, and then I hit like like a steady income like for so long, and of course, see, I want to 4x, 10x what I was making, but something was missing because every day I was putting the work, I was creating content, I was reaching out to people, I was having sales calls, so all of the logic, I was running ads as well, so all of the logic like were already implemented, but I was seeing other people making way more money than myself, and I start asking some questions. So kept like the grind for some months, and randomly one day, I think I had your profile on one of my stories. So as a viewer,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, I remember
yeah.
that,
I
right?
remember that, the story
Because we
viewer.
went like a
Oh,
tour at the time.
yeah,
Yeah,
fun little fact, guys. A couple years, I think like over a year ago, I had this little Instagram story bot, this little thing I was just testing out. My boy in Medellin had it, and it would follow people or watch people's story, like 10,000 people a day, and that got me like a few clients. I think you were the client that came for me, right? I think it got me like one or two
yeah.
clients.
You were. I saw you on the video. I'm like, was this guy? So I went like
Yeah,
the
dude, you
profile.
were the client that came from that story viewer, and then we just became boys after that, bro. That's so funny. I totally forgot it. So, hey, guys, when you start getting a lot of clients and just meeting a lot of people, sometimes you forget where you met. But yeah, that's exactly what happened. So yeah, he met me from a story viewer. That guys, traffic is one of the most important parts of business. Okay, so yeah, that's where we met. So, let's take people back to before you hired me. Okay, before you went and hired me. By the way, Ibrahim hired me for one-on-one. We worked together for some time. Um, so you quit your corporate job, and how much were you earning when you quit, and like what like you started traveling? What was kind of that phase?
So I start my business June of last year. Okay, so that's the time when I left my corporate job. And from June to like basically January, I was making like 5K, right? And in May, not June of this of last year, actually June of like almost 1 year and a half, like ago. I always forgot like in 2025. So June 2023, that's when I start my business. Okay, so I was making like for about like almost 1 year, I was making like 5K. Then in May, I left Canada because that's where I was living, and I went down to Mexico. And I went down to Mexico. That's what we start working together. I think 1 month after and something. So we've been on the process of working together for I think a bit over a month, like at first. And after Mexico, I moved down to Miami, and that's where in Miami I've seen the change, like in my income. So basically,
Yeah.
that's a story.
Yeah, so let's talk about like, all right, so you've came across my profile and you're seeing me creating content around mindset and everything. Like, what made you even want to hire a mindset coach? You're a fitness coach. Like, why not hire strategy, ads, funnels? Did you hire somebody for that? And then if you did, why would you hire a mindset coach as myself if you already had strategies, funnels, all these different things? Like, tell us about that phase. Why even hire a guy like me?
So because before hiring you, I was working with a business mentor, like, in fitness, and I felt like, they gave me like, a very generic blueprint that was not resonate with me. And when I watch your contents, I think I kind of relate a lot to what you were saying, like, teaching. And of course, like, that's something new that I didn't know about. And I study engineering, so my brain is like, what can I learn? What can I learn? I always want to learn. And if there is something I don't know, I'm like, okay, let me dive in. So I've done like, some research, watching your YouTube content, and also like, I kind of sign up for one of Bob Proctor course before working with you, but that course was
Yeah.
not like one-on-one. So I feel I took that and something like, were missing because interaction, like learning more from someone, your own experience. So that's why I'm like, okay, so I know I learned the basics. Let me try to see if I can get to the next level. And I think there
Yeah.
was a lot of like consultant at the time, but I think I was resonating a lot with your lifestyle, the way like, you're living, the fact that you were in Medellin, of course, and your vibe was like different
Yeah,
from the other
we're
as
very
well.
similar. It's actually funny. Yeah, I remember that, guys. As you know, Bob. Remember, he was my client performance law of attraction. So we're I'm bringing him back, as you guys are kind of seeing here. Like I'm going back to some of my clients, getting their testimonials because you guys really like these long form content. So that's why we just keep it super authentic. We work together. Oof, I think it was like April or May, but we still want to get him on here so you can hear his story, hear these things, and as you're seeing here, we're kind of uncovering things on the call. I remember that. So I remember because you took the Bob Proctor course, but I sold you the idea, which I still believe to this day, is not about the information. Like this information, you guys can find it on this YouTube channel in this book, right? Think and Go Rich here, the workbook, or this, or Power versus Force, or Reality Transurfing, right? You guys, everybody has this information, but I think deep down, most people don't need the information. Yes, they need the information, but it gets to the point where you need implementation. So I sold them. I was like, hey, bro, you're in a Bob Proctor course. You have this information, but I think if you work with me, somebody that's getting results and has been doing this for some time, I think that I can help you implement. And you went ahead and purchased, right? And you bought my one-on-one, which at the time was a discount. Didn't I tell you, bro? I was like, hey, man, I'm going to give you a nice, it's, still in the four-figure range for sure. Definitely, wasn't something, he still paid some money. But I told him, bro, what you're giving it at a discount, but I'm going to work with you. I'm going to turn you into a testimonial. One day I'm going to bring on the YouTube channel, and then this thing is going to grow. And sure enough, that it did, right? So yeah, I remember that. So we brought in and we focused on implementation. So what we if you can go back to those days, what were some of the things that like stood out to you? Maybe I can, jog your memory a little bit. But it's like, bro, I got in there and I remember working with you and I said, bro, your paradigm is what's holding you back. I remember you were undercharging and you were like, hey, bro, like I can't charge this amount. And we're breaking through barriers, right? We formed your C-type goal. We formed your C-type goal. We got your goal card. I told you to charge more, find your niche. And I remember you specifically, and I don't think you mind me sharing this on the channel. What I noticed with you specifically is that you had a lot of like limiting beliefs, whether it came around pricing or the niche or scaling or things like that. What were some of the things when we were working together? Did you realize that you uncovered that it wasn't some strategy outside of you, that it was actually your internal state that was holding you back? And what are some of those things that, first of all, what were those things that you identified? And what have you done now to kind of fix that so you can continue to scale your business?
So great question. I think what I learned, over the last month is it's not about what you do, it's about how you do it. So everything has energy. Even if you talk to someone, they can feel your energy. And that's where the confidence people when you talk we can feel confidence, right? There's some people when they talk, they're like, okay, I cannot trust this guy. And the way you talk, basically it's related to the way you see yourself, the way you think. And I think that's what makes change. Like when you ask for something, ask it with confidence. And obviously before having it, believe you have it already. For example, same for the price, I was charging people on a monthly basis, and I didn't have the courage to ask for upfront payment. And that's something that we first work on, charging people upfront. And I was not confident asking for five or four figures, but we've implement the goal card, we've implement the C-type goal, we've implement technique about visualizing. And because I was seeing the thing is my mind over now, okay, it's easier to do it in real world. So I start acting for people up front, and that's obviously help me increase the income at first. Having that confidence to charge more. Well, I've been applying the technique, and eventually it just flowed naturally after that.
Yeah, bro. I remember some things that you had some difficulty with. I don't know if you still do now and how you've overcome that. You were having difficulty with like the meditations and like the visualizing part, right? Like what was the challenge that you were having back then? And now you've matured in your visualization, maybe just a little bit, but what for those people that are maybe stuck visualizing, maybe they don't see images, maybe they don't have feelings. What have you learned over the last several months that have kind of like got you through that? What was the problem you were having and how did you get through that?
So the visualization was a big struggle for me at first. And one of the techniques that we shared, to make things easy is just be very detailed, specific. And if you have trouble, to create image that you don't, because everyone wants the life. Okay, I can think about myself having a penthouse and Lamborghini, but it's difficult to create that image at first because I've never done it before. So what we've done, and I think that's something we talk about, is just start visualizing things that you know at first. For example, before starting my visualization about my penthouse or my dream life, I just start visualizing things in my head that I know about. For example, a fridge, I open the fridge and I see chicken, and that just, it's like a level, right? You start level one visualization after you move up. So start with something that it's obvious for you, it's common, and I just create those patterns in your brain just to develop that visualization. Then, okay, now that you trains just warming up your mind, now you move to the next level. You sit down with yourself. The breathing technique helps as well, the frequency, everything. And it's just about not getting distracted the morning before doing your meditation, because once you wake up, you open your phone and you go scrolling on social media, your brain is off. So make sure you keep things silent and go straight into the work when you wake up.
Love it. Yeah, exactly what I say. Your first 20 minutes, look at your goal card and do that in your morning routine that we laid out for you. Okay, so here you are. It's now been several months since, probably 6 months or so since we were working together one on one during that first period. Okay, so you've learned a lot now. By watching my YouTube channel, the one on one time, digging into results. Okay, what would you tell yourself, your past version of yourself before you started working with me, before when you're just like, okay, I'm thinking about hiring a mindset coach. The guys that are watching this right now, they are six-figure solopreneurs, right? They work for themselves typically, maybe a couple of days, or in the six-figure level. They've hired a bunch of coaches before, and they might be stuck or inconsistent, and they're on the fence. Should I hire a guy like Mr. Law of Attraction with mindset, or should I hire this guy that teaches me how to build an Instagram page and how to post on YouTube and how to run funnels and ads? So my question to you, be more specifically, what would you tell yourself 6 months ago that about, hey, what's the difference between mindset and the outside world and strategy? What would you tell that version of yourself, knowing what you know now about mindset?
So the outside world is not something that you can control. You cannot control what's happening outside of you. There is only one thing you can control, is what's going on inside. And the best thing is the way you see things. It's not about like, to forcing things like, to change. It's about like, starting like, from the highest level. It's like, and I think we shared this example before. It's like electricity. You always have to go from high voltage to lower voltage. Your action is the lower potential. Thoughts is the highest potential. So everything starts in your mind. Your perspective is everything. The way you see things will at the end dictate like, your result. And something I learned as well is like you cannot outgrow your self-image. So if you are capped, if you cannot pass like certain result, it's because you don't see yourself doing it, because you don't have the right thoughts about yourself. So start changing your thoughts pattern first of all to see you in a different person, in different shoes, act like the person you want to become. And the most challenging things, because the thoughts you can create them, but what was difficult at first is the feelings, like the emotion, because you can do the work like for 30 minutes in the morning, and then after that you go back to your reality. Oh, and you will start to see things happening from the outside that always bring you down to square one. So it's maintaining those emotions level that were very challenging. And I think a lot of people like struggle with that. But this is come like with practice and repetition. Like repetition like makes things better. It's like I say, I'm a fitness coach. So the best example I can give is like you want to grow your biceps. It's not once in a month. I have to do it like consistently over time, just keeping applying pressure until you get the form that you want. It's same like with your mind. It's a muscle. You have to train it with the techniques and also just practicing, doing the work, and maintain that emotional state like throughout the day. And that require awareness. You just have to be aware like of your thoughts, and you can only become more aware of what you do when you have mind clarity. So everything that's not benefiting you, like the alcohol, like the drug, get rid of that. It's gonna just help you like think more clearly and see yourself like in a state where you believe you can be.
Yeah, I think I like what you said about the self-image because especially with fitness coaches such as yourself, you understand this a lot. You have the self-image of a fitness person, right? If I give you a cheeseburger right now, let's just say it's not your cheat day, you're not going to eat that cheeseburger. You're going to eat your stuff. But why is it that some people can have a self-image that's for fitness, but then they have difficulty in their business? Sometimes it's hard for them to transmute it, right? It's like, hey, I'm fit. I have the self-image that I'm eating this or I'm not eating this, but yet now when it comes to making money, it's a little bit more difficult. I know back in the past you had some difficulty with that, where you're really good in one area, where there was like getting, dating or your body, and then to transmute that into money, right? That was like, what would you say to somebody that's kind of trying to make that transition over? What was the problem? What have you done to try to get over that level of transmuting your success in fitness and dating to success in business?
I think one of the most challenging things when it comes like to money and finances is because those beliefs they just outdated. Like we had them like since like with kids. So obviously like because they parents school they implement those beliefs like since we were young. It's gonna took more time like to override like those beliefs and this paradigm. But at the end, what I learned is like everything is energy. So the same energy that you can put like in yourself, you can put like in relationship, you can put like in your business as well. But the thing is with your finance is that it's not as predictable as your physique. So that's where like the difficulty like it was because I knew if okay I eat in the calorie deficit, I train every day, I'm gonna get jacked. Okay, it's more direct in fitness. Businesses, there's a lot of factors. That's why for people it's difficult to create that belief because they cannot predict. They think they have like they need the plan, so they overthink. They on the back ended up being going back to square one. But at the end, it's just like energy. If you can see yourself as a fit person, well, you can see yourself as a rich person because it's all images and thoughts and feelings at the end. That's what's gonna control your reality.
Yeah, and one thing that's coming on my heart right now that I wanted to say is one thing that I had, and this is the benefit, guys. Why does somebody want to hire me? Okay, what is the thing? I give you information for free. You find that on the channel. What I charge for is implementation, which is what like with this one-on-one and applying the material to your life, and repetition. You need certain audios to listen to repetitionally in order to scale. You're not going to find that on YouTube. You're not going to find that on my channel. You're not going to find that in my school group. You're not going to find that anywhere else. There's certain videos that I gatekeep. That's what I do. I give you information, but there's certain repetitions that I did that changed my life. One thing that I did with Ibrahim, and even to this day, we hop on calls and I'm like, hey, bro, where's your pricing? Have you found your niche? Have you found this, right? Is that I can spot the problems that Ibrahim is having in his business. Okay. I can see the parent, because remember, people don't have business problems. They have personal problems that reflect in their business. So Ibrahim hired me for mindset. Okay. The cool thing about, especially in the coaching space, guys, everybody that's watching this, is I know how to apply mindset with coaching. If you do crypto and stuff like that, I have a crypto client coming this week. I can still help you, but I can go deeper with the people that are growing coaching businesses. So, for example, we can take, for example, a C-type goal and say his goal is $50,000 a month, and say, okay, where's your pricing at? You're not going to get there at $300 per month school group, Ibrahim. We're going to have to raise your price to $3,000 or $5,000. Now, if we want a $3,000 client, what does he look like? Build the image. Who do you need to become to get a 3K client? And we start to use the principles such as the C-type goal, your paradigms, collecting cash, scaling, hiring, all these different things. And we're going to apply these materials to your business. And that's what we were able to do with him. And so even to this day, he's the homie now. So I'll just call him up. I'm like, hey, bro, we got to get your testimonial on YouTube now. But I'll still help him with these things. So Ibrahim, what do you say to somebody right now who's like watching videos? They're like, oh, I don't need to hire Mr. Bob Proctor or Mr. Law of Attraction. I'm just going to watch all these courses and YouTube videos. What's the direct benefit that you've experienced, honestly, between just taking information from a course like the Bob Proctor course you took before, a YouTube video, and then actually working with me and hearing my direct, hey, Ibrahim, you need to fix this paradigm, and applying it to your life so you actually grow your business? What would you say about that?
Look, I believe like as a coach, like as your mindset coach, I'm a fitness coach. Everything is about accountability. It's about like having someone on track. It's the same like for fitness. I think I'm gonna share like fitness analogy because people understand it better. Most of the people like in the US, for example, like they out of shape, like the obese, despite having most amount of information on this planet. They can go on YouTube, ChatGPT, they can get the best workout plan, they can get a diet plan, but still they're not gonna do the work. So the information is not the problem, as you say, is the implementation, like having someone telling you what to do. Everyone can have like a baseline how to start, but how do you keep going? Like how do you adjust things like when you hit the roadblock? That's where like the coach like steps in. And it's like the Bob Proctor course. Okay, I had to create a C-type goal. I had like to start doing this routine. Perfect. I can start with that. 1 month into it, oh, I feel stuck. I'm not seeing the result. I need to ask questions. I need to see, hey, what's going on? Why it's not happening? And then that's where like you step in. You have your experience. Hey, it's normal. Then like you learn new things. That it's about like it's time, because you can see it like right now is gonna there's delay for it like to happen over time. So having your feedback as a coach, someone who went like through the process, through the struggle, not only I can have like peace of mind, but okay, I'm on the right track, versus like doing it alone. You'll feel like, okay, I don't see the result, I'm lost, I'm a failure, and then you just give up. So that coach like just share his experience with you, share like his story, and always like bring you that kick, that motivation when you feel low. It's the same like with any type of coaching. Even if you do fitness, that's what I do with my client. Even like the athletes, sometimes they feel low. That's how they have a coach, right? To push them, put their best, like doing the work. So if you're not where you are, it's because you just don't know how to do things, right? And you need to learn from someone. There is no shame asking for help, and especially like for men, they have such an ego. They're like, okay, I can do it by my own, so they just start wasting time, and after that they're the same. So ask for help. I mean, because I just see like time is your asset, it's the most valuable asset. If you ask for help, you're gonna get there faster, and the faster you get, the more money you make. So at the end, like
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer.
I love what you said, because so many people, I see this consistently on the channel, that a lot of people are like, oh, I already know this information. I've seen the C-type goal. I've watched this video. I know it. But if you knew it, you would have the results. People are like, how do I know that I'm understanding this material? Check your bank account. Has your business grown? Have you grown as a person? Like, oh yes, you're growing as a person, but what we're trying to do is grow the business, grow your income, grow everything. And that's how you know. So you're right on the point with that. So Ibrahim, what would you say to somebody that's on the fence right now? So obviously you've paid me before, you've got an end result. And what would you say to somebody who's on the fence right now? It's like, hey, I'm thinking about hiring missile law of attraction. I don't know. It might be too expensive. I don't know if mine's for me. What would you say to this person that's on the fence? And if you were to like say to, hey, what would you say to that person?
But first of all, like, what's, say, like, people base things like, on pricing. Okay. Like, this is going to cost you something. It's an investment. It's like you're investing, like, in stock and real estate, right? Doesn't matter what you put in, you're going to get, like, something better after, right? And you have testimonials, like, you have your own, like, story. So the shit works. Like, it works. If you invest, like, in SP 500, it's going to make like a return investment. Same. Invest, like, in someone who has done it, who knows everything that you need to implement. If you're willing to do the work, if you know you have the work ethic, like, to put the work, well, you have nothing to lose. The only thing that's going to cost you a lot is just staying the same, especially if you have these high goals, like, if you're stuck with your income. So the best thing I can do is, like, at least give a try. If for many years, like, you feel stuck, it just means that something is not working. And obviously getting help will definitely get you, like, to the next level. So, and I've shared, like, from my own experience. I was very hesitant, like, at first. I'm like, what the fuck is this mindset shit? Sounds like a scammer, like, or something. But I was completely wrong. Again, that's a limiting belief that I had about mindset coach. Uh, but I think it's definitely one of the greatest moves, I've made over the last 2 months. And not only that, it's not only about what I learned, but about the connection that we build. So it's not about like coaching, do this, like just like, a friend, like, right now to me, as you say, sometimes you just pick the phone, like, you call me, you text me, and that's very important. It's not like all of these business mentor that they send you, like, courses online, do the shit, you never see them. It's not that type of relation. So it's human
Yeah.
connection first. You learn, you grow, and after that, we just make money together.
Yeah, I love it. I have a pretty good relationship with most of my clients. I know all of them, or a majority of them. I took the sales calls, so I've helped them along the journey. So I guess the question I have here now is, what would you say is the one thing that has gotten you the most results with what I've taught you? Okay, like what would you say? Would it say meditation? Is it a C-type goal, so thinking bigger? Is it, terror barriers? Like what's the one principle that you've learned that you've applied that's probably gotten you the most results that other people are not doing?
I
What's
think
your
for
special
me,
sauce?
for
Yeah.
me personally, it's writing down. I don't know. This pen, like, I'm just holding like a pen every time. I don't, but the pen, like, there's some magic into it. Like, and I always, like, bring it back, like, to fitness. If you're gonna grow, like, you need to train your muscle, right? Your mind, like, the muscle, like, and writing down. I said this is on my story actually. Meditation and writing down is the best tool, like, for the mind. And the fact that you can sit down, write down, like, the pen, you can see yourself doing it, that creates like feelings automatically. It's not like tapping on the computer. Yeah, if you want to write down your goals, never do it on the computer. Always, like, pen, paper. I promise you, there is more like magic into it. And for me, sitting down with myself, writing down, not only it brings you, like, clarity, but it brings you, like, peace of mind, because you such focus on that vision. When you write down, you just forget what's going on the outside world, and just like help you get in that state. And of course, the meditation help my mind, but also me, like, as a fitness coach, what's gonna help a lot is having, like, a structure, like, in your day. So yes, it's about the mindset, but it's what you do, like, in fact, get rid of all of the vices. If you're someone, like, you drink all the time, like doing drugs and just like having poor habits, not working out, change that first. Like, I was working out, so that was good, but I think we got rid, like, of alcohol, like, and weed.
And girls, and girls. Still
We
working
were
on that
just
one.
we're just more serious about it. Like, it's okay, like, to have a relationship, but if the woman, like, they take away from your time and energy and not growing your business, that become a challenge. But if you
Yeah. And
invest, like,
dating life. We talked about that a lot, man. I've been in the dating space for since I obviously have a girlfriend now. But dude, I was a single guy living my single city boy life. And sometimes, gentlemen, you gotta like you gotta make decisions and make sacrifices or compartmentalize things. You don't need to be dating two girls a week, all this kind of stuff. And but that's a whole other subject. But that was some stuff that we talked about, and that I know that's made a massive shift in your business as well. It's just the mindset around that, you know.
It
But I have a
happens.
question for you. You got your gold card?
Yes, it's well,
Yeah.
is it somewhere I can send like
Yeah, we gotta show those thighs off real quick for everybody. Yeah. Come on,
let
but
me
I was gonna vibe check you real quick on this video. Guys, if you while he's checking that, if you want a gold card like this for free, you'll find it inside the school community. Just link in the
it's there.
description below. You guys can get your gold cards like this and get your C-type goal written, carry it with you. Whatever you write on this card will manifest. You know, you
Yeah,
got your
it's in the
card?
room. It's in the room.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
In
I
the
love it,
room.
guys. All
I
right.
can send the proof. I can send the proof.
Yeah, awesome. Alrighty, guys. So if you're on the fence and you're thinking about, hey, I want to hire Mr. Law of Attraction, I want to scale my company, then what you're gonna do is click the link below, check out the link in the description, and book a call with me. Okay. What we're gonna discuss on the call is where you're stuck at. What is the paradigms? What is the things holding you back that's keeping you stuck and inconsistent at the six-figure level, and how we can scale you to the six-figure per month level. Okay. You know these principles have been passed down from Bob Proctor. Results are not guaranteed. Results are not typical. But if you apply these materials, you will start to see results in your life. So click the link below. And Ibrahim, how can people find you?
Instagram built by Ibrahim. That's my handle. You go there, you
Built,
check out
built,
some.
built by. I'll put in the link in the description below. All right, so they can reach out
Yeah,
to you. Alrighty,
look like
guys.
motivation on the jacked.
Let, let's make
It's
it.
all
Yeah,
about
reach out to them if you're on your fitness goals. But like I said, if you want to scale your company to the next level and get results like we did with Ibrahim, 6K a month to 6K a week, go ahead and click the link, book a call with me, and I'll see you on the call. Thanks, Ibrahim. Take care.